I'm at the site here of Rebecca Linford's self-build. This is the first time that she's done a self-build, and she's agreed for us to follow along with the progress. As you will see from behind, the build has not started. Originally, she had hoped to start the build around July, August of this year, but there has been some delays in terms of getting the building warrant through and other components, and so now she's hoping to get started in October of this year to get the foundations in then and get the kit up. The kit's being supplied by Fleming Homes. And so we're going to have a look around the site, and we'll discuss just some issues. When I say issues, I'm talking about some considerations that you would make when looking at a site. And so we'll get some sort of like feel for this. And then regularly we're going to come back and see the build as it progresses. So this is very much an ongoing story, which we'll come back and visit, and you'll see every stage of the build. Hi, my name is Jim J. Davidson, and I first invested in property in 1973. I completed my first new build development in 2006. As you can imagine, I've made lots of mistakes along the way, but thankfully I've got some things right, and I've managed to build a property development business. In this channel, I want to help you on your journey and perhaps share some of that knowledge with you. And so through this channel, which I hope you will subscribe to, or through our membership app, which I hope you will join, and incidentally it's free, you can learn a little bit more about building houses and building a property development business. The app is available wherever you get your app from, whether you're on iOS or you have an Android phone, or you can get accesses on desktop, and you'll find a link in the description below. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video, and please post your comments in the description below if you have any comments to make. The location of Rebecca's plot is fairly rural. It's in the countryside, and to actually access it, the last part of it is down this single track, essentially, country road. So provides for a very secluded location. Incidentally, if you are looking for land yourself, whether that be as a property developer or as a self-builder, we run from time to time a land finding workshop. It's called the 50-minute land breakthrough, and you can find details of that at our website, builditandprosper.com/find land. This area here is part of a farm previously, and there has been a number of builds. There's a house over to the back there which has been built. There's currently foundations going in for another house here, although there's been a bit of an issue in terms of the height of the foundations. So these people are currently living in a static home. And then if we look down the road, see here there's a couple of other houses that have been built. So this was all the same farmland. Essentially what the farmer did was gain planning for several plots and then sold them off as self-build plots. And so now we'll go down to where Rebecca's plot is. And so as we enter the plot, it's a fairly large plot. It's gently sloping down to the right hand side there. This side here is a bit more level. She's already got her electricity and water connection in. And as we go down here, you'll see the slope is quite significant here. However, the actual part of the house mostly is not in that area here. In fact, we're now at the corner of where the house is. So if we have a look at this stake here, this is basically one corner of the house. If we go up to this part here, you'll see the other part, stake of the house. And then if we go across here, we'll see to what extent the house then comes to. And essentially it's round about here, I think. Yeah, this is essentially where it is here. So if we look back to that other block there, I don't know whether you can actually see it. Anyway, I'll be able to show you that on the plans. Yes, because in fact here is the other corner of the house. Here. As you will see here, there's not a huge space between there and the fence of the next door house. That means that there's limited space to actually bring a digger through here. A small digger would be able to come through here, but a larger one wouldn't. Because the drainage is going to be in the back area here of the garden, it means that that needs to be installed before the house is actually erected. She's going to have her own private water treatment works, and then there is a burn at the back here where she's able to dispose of the rainwater, so that is very, very helpful. So let me just interject the significance of the burn. You see, when you apply for planning, one of the things that they will do is consult with the local water authority. And local water authorities are very, very reluctant to allow you to put surface water, in other words, what flows off your roof into gutters and what flows on the surface of your land area into the sewage system. So that is reserved for foul water, and so therefore you have to have a way of disposing of it. And particularly in some areas it's fine, but if you've got something like clay or something where it maybe will not soak away, so the best place is, if you have a burn like that, essentially to use that to take away your rainwater. And so that saves you having to put in maybe much more complex systems like rainwater recovery systems, attenuation tanks, and all sorts of things that would slow the rate down. So it is a very significant thing. And so when you're looking at your build, you want to think about where are you going to dispose of that surface and rainwater. If we look here, this is essentially from there up to the fence. There is her plot, very substantial, and the burn here is now going to be able to be exposed and therefore provide a very nice feature in the back of the house. Unlike a lot of self-builds, she's going to be able to stay in her own house while she builds this. This is this house here at the back of these sheds, so that's going to be make the whole process that much more comfortable. A lot of self-builders, because of the need to release capital from their existing home, will sell the home, usually to buy the land or at least finance part of the build, and they will opt to stay either in a static caravan or something like this, which is a park home, which is a bit better than a caravan, to be honest. It makes it a bit more comfortable. However, Rebecca is in the unfortunate situation of where she can stay in her own home, and you'll see this house here is where it is. So it's really essentially not in the back garden of her new one, but it's basically the plots adjoin, so she has that opportunity to live in their own house, which obviously will make the whole process that bit more pleasant. As you can see from here, beautiful outlook to the house, looking over the hills. So Rebecca has provided the plans for her home. These have been supplied by Fleming Homes, who are the kit manufacturer. She's going for a timber frame kit, and they have also created the drawings for the building warrant or building regulations, depending on what it's called in your part of the world. So as you will see here is the location plan. This is her plot there. There is the site that we sort of looked at where they're having an issue with the foundations, and those are the two existing builds. Then we come down to the actual floor plan itself. It's essentially a 1.5 story or 1 3/4 story. And in other words, you have the ground floor, which has got standard room heights. In fact, they're actually a little bit higher for her house. And then on the first floor, it's sometimes referred to room in the roof, or it's referred to 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4. So essentially, it's the difference is that part of the space is taken up with the eaves, and so where you've got the eaves coming up here and you've got the floor space there, it does mean that there's certain areas that are restricted, but in this situation, depending on how high that is up, then the restriction is minimized. So let's have a look what we have here. We have a living room, dining area and kitchen, so a nice open plan area, and then we have this is the entrance here, and you have essentially the stairs coming up this way. This is a cupboard underneath the stairs, and then we can go down the hallway. There's a single bedroom there en suite, and we also have the garage, and then at the back of the kitchen, or to the side of the kitchen, you have a utility room and the boiler. And then if we look upstairs, we have a study. We have a sort of like a mini lounge area here. Here's the stair coming up, and then we have a bedroom with a study as well to it. We have the master suite, which has got the ensuite here and a walk-in wardrobe, and beside that there's a store in the hallway, and then we've got the main bathroom there, and then there's a balcony out here which will look onto those hills as we showed you them before. And then as you'll see here, this is what I was referring to, the room in the roof. So you'll see how this is sort of like at this area it's more restricted until you get out there, but it still provides very, very good space. And then we have, this is how it sits on the plot. So you may remember I said that the digger would have a problem getting down here, so you can see it really fills out the plot, and this is a fairly wide plot, and then gives a very good secluded back garden with the burn or stream running at the back there. And then this is her actually these are sheds. This is her existing house here, so not too far to be able to keep an eye on her build as it progresses. And of course the area out here is for parking. And then this is an elevation view of what the house is going to look like. You see, it's really going to be the nicest house on the street without a doubt. Pretty spectacular. She's got her she's using, in this situation here, roof lights or Velux windows, and what they tend to be more economical than dormer windows, which tend to be a bit pricier to put it in, but it really depends on how you want the house to look. As you see by this here, it shows you sort of like the underbuilding, so you can see here the slope, that as it so that increases the actual underbuilding, and that will obviously increase the cost of the foundations, and you'll see again here, you can see where it slopes. One of the things is that the underbuilding is having to be higher than I think Rebecca would have liked, and part of it is because they established right at the back here of the plot, this is one of the surveys that the planners often ask for, is the likelihood of flooding within the next 200 years. And so there's evidently potential for flooding in this part of the garden over the next 200 years, and so therefore they have asked for the underbuilding to be raised higher. And this is where the issue existed for this house that we looked at here, because they hadn't actually built it high enough, so they're having to probably knock it down and redo it. So anyway, that's the plans. As you can see, it's going to be an absolutely fabulous house, and I hope you're as excited as I am to see this basically blossom in front of your eyes. So the next time that we are at this site, we will be showing you the foundations. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe now to make sure you don't miss an episode. If you like this video, please give us a like and share it amongst your friends. And if you need any help in terms of doing your own either self-build or as a property developer, then visit our website builditandprosper.com, where you will find lots of additional information, and indeed you will also there be able to sign up for our app, which has just recently been launched. Until the next time, I look forward to speaking to you then. Stay safe. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos, then click to watch the next video. Please remember to visit our website at builditandprosper.com to get our app, or click on the button on the YouTube header if you're on desktop.